All right, welcome in, everybody. Oh, there's the GoPro camera.
Right
way
camera.
over there. Yeah. How is everybody? We are glad that you're here as we get ready to do I think we're going to have our first series. We're going to have 3 episodes in a row based on kind of the same topic.
We're kind of, somewhat the same topic, but a little different. We're talking about how to glorify God through different stages of life. So this week we're going to be focusing on engagement and glorifying God through that season of life, looking at marriage, looking at parenting, kind of what that looks like.
And I think we also ought to look at singleness.
Well, okay, no joke. I had the same thought this morning. I was getting ready to come here, and I thought, we should add a little add-on and do glorifying God through singleness and talk
we've
about
got
that.
4 episodes planned out right now.
I'm excited about this.
That's 4 times the amount of work that we've ever done going into this.
I think this will be good though.
This should be good. And we got to welcome back Caleb. He is back. Jarvis Jr.
Back from the land of Utah.
He is back
on
from
vacation.
The land of Utah.
How did it go? Because this is the first vacation that you've taken with your girlfriend's family, right? Did it go okay?
Well, he's paused a moment, said went great.
Nobody has a gun to your head.
And the good news is he didn't convert. So that's the main thing.
Hey, so
it's a joke.
Your girlfriend doesn't watch this, right? No. Okay. No. So there's no chance that she'll hear this?
No, she's not a patron.
Okay.
Unless she wants to pony up to the table.
Okay. So we've been talking about, when you'll pop the question. Yeah. Does this trip change anything in your mind?
No, it actually is. It'll make it easier when I ask her parents.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, so you still haven't?
I haven't asked them. No, I was going to on this trip.
That's what I thought.
Had a good time. We were always all together.
Gotcha. I feel you.
One night we were on our way home because we drove there and drove back out, and we were doing a couple days traveling.
Mm-hmm.
And her dad offered to drive the car we were driving because we were both tired, and so it would have worked out if he did that me and him were in the same car together by ourselves, but it ended up not happening.
So are you ready to ask him?
Yeah, I am.
You are. So any ideas when that's going to happen?
Yeah, when's the time frame? Not like it's any of our business.
For school next week.
Okay.
So, and our brother's at school, so that her parents are home alone.
Okay, and
there you go.
I don't know if we've talked about this while the cameras are rolling or not, but we have come up with the best
proposal idea,
engagement idea that there ever is. Yes.
80% of y'all's idea.
No, you better be using more than that.
80%. No, I think 80% is pretty good.
I'm twisting a few things.
Yeah.
I'm doing the painting and all that stuff.
This is so cute.
good.
Okay, so our idea was she likes to hike and she likes art. So the idea was they go on a hike, they see someone painting something, and then she's like, "What are you painting?" And then the painting flips around and it's like, "Will you marry me?" That kind of thing. And then it cuts to Jarvis Jr. on one knee asking the big question.
Yeah, I think
so.
that
I'm surprised that we came up with an idea this good, for one. And I'm surprised that he's using it. I feel really honored.
I think it ought to be a caricature. One of those people you see at the fair.
Right.
And then
where do you find a caricature?
Oh, you hire one. You find them at Caricatures or Us. Yeah.
I don't think they have those.
Yeah. So here's I think what they ought to do is have the actual caricature be of Jarvis on one knee with the ring box open, pointed toward her. And so when she flips it around, Ellie is like, "What?"
Yeah.
And then she turns around to look at Jarvis thinking, "What's going on here?"
Adorable.
And there's See?
Adorable.
That is what Hallmark movies are made out of.
What I want more than anything, though, is for you and me to be in the bushes
Yeah,
watching the whole thing go down.
I do too.
I really want that.
I want that as well.
Ellie doesn't know us, but I just think that would be great.
No, she does not know us.
All right,
but
it's
I think
all
that
just
would be
things
fun.
to think about. We also, I think we should add on, with the podcast, kind of an additional service. If you become a patron for $15 a month, we will help plan your engagement.
Well, I think that'll be a higher tier. Let's make that about $30 a month.
$30 a month? Okay, we'll plan your whole engagement party. We also work for birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, anything else that you need.
Absolutely. All right, let's roll the open. All right, so if you're just joining us here like this on Patreon, we've got a new kind of format way we're doing it. If you missed the video last week, we are going to let you see the behind the scenes. We told Jarvis, hit record, and boom, we're not stopping. This is a freight train downhill.
I don't like that image.
Well, but that's what
I
it
hope
is.
it's not downhill.
Hold on.
Okay.
As we get
Is
ready.
it episode 36?
We are at 36, yeah. But
Really?
well, you know what? Because one of our big fans is a guy named Kevin. He works at Family Life.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, I think y'all got behind on your episode numbers. I said, really? He said, yeah. He said, I'm thinking this is 35 that you did last week, even though you said.
I thought so, and then everybody told me no.
Well, we were wrong.
Well, this
Kevin
is-
caught us.
always listen.
I gave him props. I said, man, good catch. And so I went and redid everything online and the
Okay.
whole deal.
Okay.
And so we are at episode 36 now.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Do we need to start this again, right?
No.
Just to be
don't
separate?
touch it.
No? Okay.
Don't
Whoa.
touch it.
Whoa. Yikes. Comes away for a week, gets sassy. All right.
Let it roll.
It's episode 36.
All right, welcome in, Hope Dealers from literally around the world. We are glad that you are here with us. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, thank you for elbowing out some time and allowing us to be a part of your day or night or,
Whenever you're listening.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for letting us be together. And here's the thing. We're going to be talking today about rules of engagement because this is something we're really excited about. It's our first kind of series of podcasts.
Yeah, we came up with this idea a couple months ago. We were texting back and forth, just figuring out something that we wanted to talk about with the podcast. And I texted Steve and just said, what about glorifying God through different seasons of life, whether that's singleness, engagement, marriage, parenting, all of that stuff, and just having those conversations. And so we decided to hold off on that idea until the new year. So here we are in January now, and we're going to be going through kind of the month talking about different seasons of life and how we can glorify God through all of it.
Yeah, I think so. And it's going to be so much fun and it's going to be so in depth because I got to thinking about engagement in that whole process. It's been so long since I was engaged, right? But I started really thinking about it and I've come up with some questions I need to ask you about engagement.
Okay.
And I've got some other thoughts. So that should be fun. And also we're giving away right now an Amazon gift card. You can sign up to win that. The link is in the show notes. StephenBethany.com/contest.
StephenBethany.com, though, is really the place to go for everything.
Yeah.
Like, no, if you have any questions about stuff that we have going on or how you can listen, StephenBethany.com.
Yeah. And my wife told me she was listening on YouTube.
Yeah.
And she said that the little transcribish things, what do you call those things? The captions.
Captions,
She
yeah.
says the captions, when you said it too fast and it didn't give the website right. So
no.
let me enunciate SteveandBethany.com.
.com.
Yeah. No, I think it ran it together.
Steve and Bethany.
Yeah. So
.com.
that's the
that better?
website. That's better. So sign up to win that. We're going to be giving that away soon.
Cool. I'm excited about this. I think this will be a fun thing, and I'm ready to get into this topic of engagement. Really, it's kind of more relevant now than ever because my brother-in-law just got engaged to one of my best friends that I've known forever. And I feel like the timeline of these two things happening has lined up really well.
Yeah, this is crazy story because I don't know how long ago it was. 6 months, 8 months ago, maybe even a year ago. You came to
No.
me. How long ago was it?
7 months ago.
7 months ago.
Yeah.
You said, I'm going to introduce my best friend to my
wait.
brother-in-law.
Wait, no. They met 3 years ago. What are you talking about?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. How long ago was it?
No. They met 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3
okay,
years
I thought
ago.
it was, but you kept saying no.
No, because okay, I thought you meant like when did they start dating? That's what I thought you meant.
I'm way back. Way back.
No, way back. They met 3 years ago.
Okay, so 3 years ago, Bethany
years
comes
ago.
and says, how great would it be? That's the way she started the sentence.
Yeah.
How great would it be for my best friend and my brother-in-law to get together?
Well, I didn't know that he was going to be my brother-in-law yet because Cody and I were dating at this point.
Right, but you pretty much knew.
It was the weekend that we got engaged is when they met. So my best friend, she had flown in to hang out with me, and Cody planned it out where she would be there when we got engaged because he knew that she's close with me and that we would want to be together when all that happened. So the night before we got engaged, we went to the PBR, the Professional Bull Riders or whatever it stands for, PBR, and we went and saw him, and it was just a great time. We went out to dinner, all this stuff. And so the whole night I had been giving my brother or my future brother-in-law a hard time saying like, you'll love her. She's like the female version of you, all this stuff. Giving him a hard time. And he was kind of, brushing it off or whatever. And I really was joking. But then they met and I was like, oh,
yeah, see,
hold on.
That's exactly the little thing you just did is exactly what
Yeah.
you did with me when you first started telling me the story.
Really, because I was kidding. I was really teasing both of them, not being serious at all. But then when they met, they got along super well. And I thought, this actually might work. Okay, time to lay some groundwork. And so I am not one to be matchmaker normally, but I put all of those things aside and I
Threw caution to the wind.
I threw caution to the wind and I just kind of like asked him, what did you think of her? Like, she's cool, right? And he's like, yeah, she's really cool. And then I told my friend, I was like, what did you think about, what did you think about him? And same thing. And then about 6 months ago or 7 months ago, she called me and was just like, I kind of like him. Like, he's cool. And, and then I let them do their thing. I had laid all the groundwork for 2.5 years at that point. And so I stepped back, let them do their thing, and they got together.
And this was a little bit difficult because they were in different states, different time zones.
Yeah, she's from where I'm from. So she's from Richmond, Virginia, like me. And so they're talking, states away, texting, FaceTiming, all that stuff. But it all worked. It all worked out.
Okay, because this is the ultimate high risk, high reward. Okay, because here's what you've done now. Because let's close the loop. He has proposed to her.
They're engaged.
And they are officially engaged.
They're engaged. I think we got a picture, right?
Yeah, for those of you watching on Patreon.
Look at that. They got engaged.
Yeah.
It's so cute. I'm so happy.
And if you're not watching on Patreon, it's just a shot of her left hand with the engagement ring on.
Yeah.
And then his goofy face in the background
He's
smiling.
looking just love struck.
Yes,
yeah,
love
look
struck.
at that.
Absolutely right. So that's a sweet picture. It really is. It really is a nice picture. So, but you have entered into that territory because now you have every right to say, hey, I brought y'all together.
Oh, I have every right, and
this.
I have said that.
Right. Well, you've got that for the rest of your life.
Right.
That's the high reward. The high risk is, Lord forbid something not happen good.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you're going to be responsible.
You would be surprised as to how many people have already told me that. Like they've said, you do realize that when they have their first fight as a married couple, you're 100% to blame. Like
exactly
they're
right.
going to call you and go, "Why did you ever introduce me to this person?"
Exactly.
So,
you're going to hear it from both sides.
but here's what I've told them. I said, yes, I am personally responsible for your eternal happiness. That's so true. You're welcome. No, I'm kidding. I have said, okay, I did introduce you guys. I guess I am kind of responsible for you two getting together. However, everything from this point on is on you guys. Like, you guys have to work on your communication. If you guys get in a fight, you have to work it out. Don't call me. It's not my fault. It's not my problem.
I don't know.
Y'all work
I don't
it
know.
out.
I don't know. I think they still have some. They have a case. They have a case to make you responsible.
Personally responsible.
Yeah, personally
I laid all the groundwork. Everything from now on is up to them.
Oh, okay.
That's where I'm
It's
at.
high risk, high reward.
But no, I'm so excited for them though. Like, they're such a great couple. They're two of my favorite people in the world. And so the fact that they're now like getting married and my friend is now going to be in the same state as me is just awesome.
Yeah,
so I'm so pumped.
That really is cool. I'm happy for you. I really am. And I'm happy for them too. They seem like really good people. I don't know them very well.
Yeah.
But it seems like really, really neat.
The best.
Okay. Before we get into our topic of rules of engagement, for those of you watching on Patreon, we're going to be doing Jarvis's knowledge assessment. I came up with the name myself.
This seems like an actual game show.
Because Jarvis is going to ask you and I some trivia questions at the end. And here's the little caveat, is that he's got punishments for the loser.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So
Are these like legit, like...
I don't know.
Oh, you came up with that?
Look at it. Yes.
No.
I texted Jarvis and said, okay, look, here's the deal. This is what I want to do. You run with it.
Oh, no.
And
Okay.
so, like the little mad scientist, little grin he got in.
I'm nervous now.
Okay, that's coming up for those of you exclusively on Patreon.
We need to have a camera on Jarvis when we do things like this because the look that was in his eye was terrifying. You know the Joker from Batman? That's kind of what he looked like there for a minute.
All right,
I'm legit nervous now.
We'll get to rules of engagement coming up. Hang on. All right, so we'll insert right here.
I'm not kidding. I thought you were coming up with them.
No,
and then I was like, well, they won't be that bad.
Well, no, I didn't want to taint or bias it at all, huh?
Like it.
Say
Y'all
what?
gonna like it.
Okay,
It'll be fun.
I didn't want to taint or bias it at all.
All right.
So, because I did this bit similar on the radio this morning.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't want to be like, I told him, don't do the obvious stuff because I've done the obvious.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to make it too hard on my listeners.
All right.
So, okay. All right. So, we ready for segment 2?
Yeah.
So, why don't you open with a little tease for Bible, and we'll go.
Okay. Well, we are going to be getting into our main topic of kind of the rules of engagement, how we can glorify God through being engaged in that season of life. But before we get there, I want to remind you real quick that we are doing something really special. It started out as something that we were maybe going to do over Christmas, but then we've just decided to leave it. It's called Tees for Bibles. If you go to stephenbethany.com and buy a t-shirt, the proceeds from that are going to go buy a Bible for someone around the world that doesn't have one. And it's really cool that we're kind of talking about this because last week at church, my pastor was talking about just how so often we can treat the Bible very casually and not really realize how valuable it is and how important it is and how essential it is. And so that was, for me, a little heart check. I think I'm guilty of just treating my Bible very casually and not thinking too much about it.
For sure, me too.
And it was really, it was a heart check for me. If there's people around the world that don't have the Bible in their own language, so you can help be a part of that and make sure that those people get the Word of God in their hands. Again, go to stephenbethany.com, buy a t-shirt, and the proceeds go there.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about today rules of engagement. And we came up with this idea to talk about that stage in life because I think there's one of two mindsets, at least from my perspective, that I've witnessed in all of my years on this planet of people getting engaged. And that is, number one, it's either an open-ended deal. Hey, babe, let's get married. Okay, when are we going to get married? Have no idea. Let's just wait it out.
Yeah.
Okay? Or number two, it's a beat the clock kind of thing. You get married and all of a sudden it's like you are, a football team on the clock. You got to make your draft choice and get it in before the 15 minutes runs up.
Right.
Everybody runs around with their hair on fire. We got to get this wedding planned and get these two married.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's very much middle ground.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. Like me and Cody's engagement, we were engaged for 5 months. And I feel like that was a really good stretch of time for us. We got everything done that we needed to. I got my dress in, I got the venue reserved. There wasn't a ton of things that would have taken longer. So we got everything done. And really the last month that we were engaged was little tiny details. And at that point I had stopped caring about planning the wedding. I was like, can we just get married already? I'm just tired of waiting. Let's just get married, And so, I don't know. That was a good time for us, I think. I don't really love long engagements. I think there's different circumstances for everybody where it's called for, where, for whatever reason, you guys can't get married right away. You have to wait a year, 2 years, whatever. I think there's circumstances that are okay with that. But for the most part, I would really advise against doing a long engagement. I just think it draws things out. It kind of, I don't know, it can make things a little bit more frustrating because you know that you want to spend your life with this person. So go ahead and start your life with this person. I don't necessarily see the reasoning behind it in a lot of cases.
I kind of agree with you in the fact that I think it can lead to more problems. I think that's what you're kind of driving at, because if it is true you want to spend your life with me, well, why can't we go ahead and do it?
Right.
And I think it also can lead into some other kind of temptations of all kinds of things, really.
Yeah.
I mean, whether you're starting to talk about wanting to live together or maybe do some other things together before you get married and the whole thing. And, we're engaged. So it almost becomes a get out of jail free card.
Right.
Well, God will understand. See, I know, exactly. Exactly. And I think a lot of people, especially today's society, it seems like in our Christianity walk, there's a lot of people that seem like, well, God will be okay with that. I mean, we talked a lot about that last week with the guilt stuff, but I think that happens a lot of times. We tend to say, okay, this is my engagement. I'm a good person, so I want to be able to do this. And again, I agree with you. I think there are maybe some circumstances and everybody's different for long engagements.
Right.
But I think for the most part, it should be a shorter time just to be able to make sure that you're focused on what's really important. Because the engagement process, I think a lot of times we focus on the wedding ceremony. And I know I was probably guilty of that. And I'm sure every lady is
Yeah.
guilty of that. Instead of marriage preparation, this should be like
Right.
the pregame
Right.
to your actual marriage. But I don't think we treat it like that a lot.
No. And so often the wedding is so much more of the focus than the actual marriage. And I think I was guilty of that for a few weeks, like right after we got engaged, because I immediately started thinking, okay, what does my dress need to look like? What venue do we need to do? Food, like music, all this stuff. And I really am thankful that we had people in our life that were speaking truth to us and were like, okay, this is a big day. It's one of the best days of your life. It's a huge, important moment. You need to celebrate it. You need to enjoy it. But the wedding is one day of your life. Like, don't lose sight of that. Don't lose sight of the fact of how special and important it is, but also you're going to be married to this person the rest of your life, hopefully. So it's something that I think we can kind of put on too much of a pedestal of needing to have this perfect wedding and this, amazing day, and it just needs to be flawless. And we forget about all the hard work that goes into marriage afterwards. And I feel like I've seen a lot of people do a really good job of balancing the two, of making the wedding really special, because it is. It's a great day. It's a great moment. It's not going to be perfect, but that's kind of what makes it perfect, is the fact that you get to, marry the love of your life, and it's a great day. But also, everything that happens afterwards in marriage, a lot of it is really fun. And that's the good stuff. And in my mind, it's like the wedding was kind of what you said, the pregame. The marriage is the good stuff. That's where it's so much fun. And you get to just do life side by side with this person. You get to create inside jokes, and you get to just kind of walk through the good and the bad and the ugly with this one person. And that's what makes marriage so unique. And so I feel like the engagement season should just be a time of preparation for that. Yeah, you plan a huge event like a wedding, but you need to be planning for your marriage more than anything.
Now, I know that you and Cody went through premarital counseling before
Right.
The wedding. So you were in the midst of planning everything, but yet still going to this counseling thing. Did you find that it was helpful? Did you find it was something that kept you grounded as to what was really important? I mean, why did you choose to do that?
I would recommend premarital counseling to everybody that gets engaged, no matter what your religious background is, no matter what your beliefs are, no matter what. I think you always need to have people to talk to while you're planning a wedding. Specifically, if you're a Christian, I would really, really encourage you to do it, because I think for me and Cody, it was kind of a safe space for us just to talk. And if we were stressed about anything, or if, there was things with our families and we're trying to figure out, like holidays, for an example, of, okay, how are we going to spend time with both of our sides? We had a kind of objective third party there to talk through all that with us. And they didn't really have, one side or another that they were going to, because really you can talk to your parents about a lot, but there's some things that it's just, I think, better to get an outside opinion on. And it kept us grounded. It helped us just process different things. And they brought up, the couple that we did our premarital counseling with, they brought up different topics that I don't think we had necessarily talked about in depth, of like, okay, what are your spending habits? Like, how are you guys wired in that way? And what are your plans? Are you going to have a joint bank account? Are you guys going to keep your separate bank accounts? Things like that. How do we handle conflict? How do you communicate? Just all that stuff. And they prodded and asked us deep questions. They were not afraid to ask us the hard questions and really push in those. But I think it was healthy for us, and it kept us grounded in reality during a time that can be kind of crazy.
Okay, did you guys do it together and separately?
We did
with the mentors? We
did it all together. Yeah. It was always the two of us, and it's a husband and wife that we met with. So it was the two of us and then the husband and wife that we met with. And we just had great conversations. It was very casual. It wasn't like we both laid on couches and just talked about our feelings. It was very casual. Normally we'd either meet them for coffee at Starbucks and talk, or we would go over to their house for dinner or that kind of thing, and just sit around the table and have really good discussions. But it was awesome. The couple that we had was great, and they were a big encouragement to us.
Yeah, full transparency here. I just got to the point where I've forgiven you for not asking me to be your premarital counselor.
I would not do that. That's the definition of mixing business with personal, and it could collide.
Worlds colliding.
Worlds colliding.
Now, I'll be honest. Had I been approached when I was whatever I was,
did you guys not do premarital counseling?
We did not.
Okay.
We did not. Now, and I don't want this to sound arrogant or coming off condescending
Yeah.
or whatever. I think my wife and I both were at such a spiritual point in our lives that we realized what we were getting into, and
Yeah.
we realized that the first thing both of us wanted to do was to glorify God in this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we came into it with. Now, having said that, would I go back and do it? Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. If there's no workbooks involved,
There's no workbooks
as long as I
involved.
didn't have to do a workbook, because that really is the kind of the thing that's hard for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I would totally refuse, especially if my wife wanted to do it. But I would have a hard time doing workbooks and do it because
Yeah.
that's just not the way I'm wired. However, what you're talking about, meeting with somebody that's older and wiser and
Yeah.
has been down the road, and a real informal setting like you guys did, I would be all about that.
Yeah.
And I think I would have relished that because even though I think we did things right, and I think we all, and it's worked out, thank the Lord, we'll be 23 years in April.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've got a good start. We're
Yeah.
doing okay. But I still think I would have liked to have done that because I didn't grow up necessarily in a Christian home.
Yeah.
I mean, I did see my parents stay together. They were together till they passed away, almost 50 years, I think 49 years. So, I
Yeah.
mean, they set a strong foundation as far as commitment goes, but that extra step as far as following after Jesus and honoring God, I don't know that I had that to begin with.
Yeah.
But I think we do now, So.
Well, and I think too, kind of what I've heard from some people that I know that have said like, well, we don't really need premarital counseling because like either we both grew up in Christian homes or like, well, we know like, okay, don't go to bed angry, blah, 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 blah. We don't need that. And I would really encourage like, but why not? Like, what are you going to lose by going to premarital counseling and just talking with a couple that frankly knows more than you? Because at some point when you're married, there's always going to be somebody behind you and there's always going to be somebody ahead of you in life. And I think that's why it's important even after you get married to continue to seek out counsel and just wisdom of whether that's parents or friends or older couples maybe in your church or something that to just talk through life with, because at the end of the day, we all need community and we all need people to come alongside us and give us advice and encouragement. And so, especially in the engaged season, I feel like it's helpful to have those people to talk to and just help you just set a solid foundation. Even if you grew up in the most perfect Christian home and you know all the good Sunday school answers, you're not going to lose anything by going to people that have been married a little longer and know a little more and can kind of remind you of those truths that maybe you already know.
And I think the one thing I would give as an advice for this would be to be sure and honor God. Make it a point to do that. Even if you are like you say, grew up in a Christian home, you know all the Sunday school answers,
Yeah.
you know you ought to do that. Every decision you make from the ceremony to the marriage itself to everything you do, ask that question. Make that be the forefront of your thinking. Say, how is this going to honor God?
Yeah.
And I think that will take you such a long way.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll insert our second commercial right here. I saw Jarvis hit the mark button on the editing. That's awesome.
You're doing great, buddy.
You are.
We're so proud of you.
You haven't missed a step being gone to the ski slopes one bit, and he doesn't care. He's just keep going. Y'all don't.
All right, so we're just going to tease.
Tease. Well, we teased the Aftercast a minute ago.
Just do Patreon.
Yeah, we'll just do Patreon real quick.
Okay. And then you want to tease honoring God through your marriage, and then we'll go into the Aftercast.
Let's talk about. I know what I'll talk about. We'll do this. So, all right. So you bring it back. We'll tease Patreon, and then
Okay.
I'll tell my little story.
All right, well, we are back talking a little bit more about how you can just glorify God through a season of engagement, if that's where you find yourself. We're going to be taking the next few weeks of this month to talk about marriage, talk about parenting, talk about singleness, and in those different stages of life, how we can reflect Christ and glorify God in those moments, in the life seasons that we find ourselves in. We want to be sure to remind you that if you are not a patron, be sure to join, because there's a ton of bonuses and kind of perks that come with being a part of the Stephen Steve and Bethany Patreon family. You get the pre-show, which is just B-roll footage, basically, of us starting the podcast and getting going.
It's a peek behind the curtain.
Little behind the curtain, yeah.
Of how we put this together.
Yeah, and then you also get the aftercast, which is just a bonus segment that we do. You get an inside scoop on contests that we have going on and maybe some special articles, different things like that. The tiers start at $5. They go up to $15. So be sure to go patreon.com/Steve and Bethany's Hopecast. You'll find us there and you can join.
Absolutely. And we're revamping some of the rewards, and we're still in discussions on that.
Yeah.
And we're going to figure
We
out
need to
what
get lunch.
We need to figure out exactly what we're going to do. But we're so excited,
Yeah.
and we can't wait for that to happen. Okay, so now before we wrap things up today, I wanted to bring this up because I like to be transparent. I like to be honest about the good stuff and the bad stuff.
Right.
Okay? Because I think we relate to people when we show our flaws.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I got for the first time in decades 2 days ago, a speeding ticket. I got a speeding ticket. Yes, I did.
What?
And I totally deserved it.
When was the last time you got pulled over?
Oh gosh, I was trying to remember that. I don't know. I don't have any idea.
I've never gotten pulled over.
I don't have any idea. It's been literally decades.
That's hilarious. Where were you? What happened?
I was headed to work.
Yeah.
And
But this is like what, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning?
No, this was on a Saturday. I had to work on Saturday.
Okay.
And so I'm going in and I pass a state trooper who used the expression, quote unquote, blew my doors off.
Oh my word.
Which is not true. I do dispute that. I was not going that fast.
He came up and said, you blew my doors off?
Yeah. And I don't want to get into the whole thing because I want to try to be nice about this. But he talked to me like a drill sergeant would talk to a private. He came up to me and he goes, do you know how fast you were going, sir?
Oh my word.
And I was like, not really. Anyway.
Did you admit that you had done something wrong?
I did. I
think
told
that
him
helps.
I don't, and I thought that, okay, I haven't had a speeding ticket. I haven't had a wreck. I haven't had anything.
Yeah.
Decades, right?
Yeah.
I thought, okay, he's going to go back and he's going to look and see, hey, this guy's got it all together.
Right. No.
And he's not going to.
How much over were you going?
Well, see, that was part of the dispute for me. At one point where I was at was 75. It was a speed limit. I was going 82, 83.
That's not that bad.
Well, but it had gone down to 65. So I was like 15 over
That's
is what
not
he wrote
good.
me up for.
Okay.
So, now, but here's my little bone to pick. And if there's somebody that's listening that can help me with this, because this is something, this bothers me. Okay.
This is your gripe.
This is my gripe. So just pardon me while I step up onto my soapbox for a moment. Okay. All right. So they tell me, okay, here's the fine you got to pay, X amount of dollars.
Right.
Okay. Fine. I did the crime. I will do the time.
Okay.
But below that is another figure. You can pay this, and we won't tell your insurance company. It's more money. I'm thinking to myself, how is that not extortion?
What?
You know, I mean,
That's like blackmail.
that's exactly what it is.
That's wrong.
Now look, I'm serious about this. I'm asking people who may be in the law enforcement and or legal professions.
That cannot be right.
No, I know, but that's exactly what it is. They tell you don't have to. It's like we won't tattle on you if you'll pay me a few extra fish.
Oh my word.
I know, and I'm thinking, how is this possible?
Yeah, we need
And-
to get some insight if you're a member of the law enforcement community or if you have any legal expertise.
Yeah,
we need to hear about this.
I don't know whether I need to, better call Saul.
You reminded me with this. Jerry, my father-in-law, he got pulled over like 2 weeks ago. He was going up to, we have Cody's side is really, really big. So we all went up to this lodge a few hours away just to spend some time together and get to, hang out a little bit. We hadn't seen each other in a long time. So we got together. And on the way up there, it's in the middle of nowhere. So you have to go through these really tiny towns to get to where the lodge is. And so my father-in-law was driving, was talking on the phone, and was not paying attention to how fast he was going. And so went through this little tiny town. A cop pulls out. I think it may have been a state trooper. I'm not sure. But a police officer pulls out, pulls him over. And this is the thing, though. This is so classic Jerry. He got out of it. Because of course he did. Because it's Jerry. Like, no one can resist the charm of Jerry. He gets pulled over. The police officer walks up and goes, do you know how fast you're going? And he goes, honestly, I was talking to an old friend from high school on the phone. I don't have any idea how fast I was going, but I'm really sorry. The police officer goes, all right, well, just slow down, and lets him go. That
Really?
was it. Checked his license and everything to make sure he wasn't a felon. But like, yeah, let him go.
Did he find out he was a pastor?
No, I don't think
Okay.
so. Because
Well-
I would not have been, like, I asked Jerry, I was like, did you pull the pastor card? Were you like, listen, I have to be at somebody's bedside. There's been an emergency.
right.
He didn't pull that card. He told the truth.
Okay, well, no, that's right.
Which is
because
good.
here's the thing: I've never met a pastor that does not drive like a crazy,
Crazy person?
Yes, that just drives.
Jerry does.
flying low.
Little
right?
bit.
Okay.
Little bit.
My pastor. This is so great because our church bought his pickup truck. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Because he drives so many miles
Right.
back and forth, hospitals and stuff, especially before COVID and the whole thing. So whenever he gets pulled over, which I don't know how often that is, but whenever he does, the officer always goes back and looks up who's the owner
Yeah.
is. Well, the owner is the Union Valley Baptist Church, and that's usually the get out
There
of
you
jail free
go.
card. Oh, you really are. He doesn't even have to tell him. He's like, oh. And he said, "Oh, why does the church own it?" Well, I'm the pastor, and he
Got
gets
out
off
of it.
scot free.
It's almost like that scene from The Office where Dwight has the fake police lights on the top of his car, and the real police officer comes up behind him like, Dwight,
Yeah.
you got to pull over. Stop. They're so familiar with him at
That's
that point.
right. That's right.
Anyways, yeah, I think if I ever get pulled over, I'm just gonna try and pull a Jerry and just be as polite and kind as
Well, see,
possible.
now that's what I
and
did,
just-
but and again, I ran into a guy that was a little maybe not having the best day in the world,
Yeah.
but I was as nice as I could be,
Yeah.
even though I thought he was a little unnice to me. That's all I'm saying. Now he didn't come up with the whole rule of pay extra. That's not him.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
trying to
just
say
on the
him.
ticket.
That's on the ticket. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's the deal with that. So
Well,
so-
it's good to know that that you are still being held accountable for your crazy driving.
Well,
because I
I know.
have ridden with you, and
Oh, that's not true.
a little bit.
Well,
You-
not, but you. I mean, all you
I
have
drive.
to do.
I drive angry. You drive fast.
well.
You
Well, I can't
Don't,
argue
don't
that.
argue with that. That's too true.
I can't
Don't even.
argue with that. All right,
well,
let's wrap this up.
I was going to say, next week we're going to be talking about honoring God through your marriage and kind of the ups and downs that we all go through in marriage. I've been married it'll be 3 years this year. You've been going on 23
It's
years, you said?
23, yeah.
Yeah, so you got 20 years on me just about. And we'll be talking about just the things that we've learned and how you can glorify God through that season of your life.
And we have made a New Year's resolution. We're going to try to make this as much as professional a podcast as we can. It's easy for the professional podcaster to say.
Yeah.
So we're going to close this out with
Oof.
closing credits.
Okay.
Like any good podcast worth its salt has.
I'm ready. We haven't memorized this yet.
No,
so
we haven't
We
yet.
have to read it. But you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Steve and Bethany's Hopecast is a production that we do in partnership with Blue Stream Media. Check out their amazing work at Blue. It's BLU streammedia.net.
See, how about that?
.com. Shoot,
.com.
I messed it up. Shoot. Okay. Check out their amazing work at Blue, BLU streammedia.com.
TJ Nichols is our executive producer, which means he's the owner of this shindig. He's the slave master cracking a whip. Caleb Reese is our technical producer and our editor, and he's the one that if we have, any fact checks, if we have any
Mess
things
ups.
that we anger people with, you come to him directly.
no,
You don't
no,
come to us.
no.
That's his job. That's what he gets paid for.
Well, don't forget to check out this episode's show notes and all the links, and then swing by our website. It's steveandbethany.com. Again, that's steveandbethany.com.
Good night, Olive Branch.
Bye, y'all. Okay.
All right. I thought that was good.
That was good.
All right.
I
so-
really do need to get better at the bluestreammedia.com.
Yeah.
I don't know why I read .net.
I don't either.
Okay, we ready?
Yeah, I think so. There's the aftercast.
Time for the aftercast.
Very nice. Okay, so since everybody here is Arkansans,
Yes.
today when we're taping this is actually National Arkansas Day.
Mm-hmm.
It's January 11. So I thought, okay, since you and I are neither one of us native Arkansans,
Not natives, yeah.
we've been here both a long time, but
Yeah.
we were not born and raised here. So we thought, here's what we'll do. We'll make this a little trivia thing. And I called Caleb Jarvis Jr. and I said, okay, here's what we want to do. We want to have 3 trivia questions.
Okay.
Okay. Best 2 out of 3 wins.
Okay.
You come up with the questions. We will try to answer. But whoever loses has to have some kind of punishment. And he asked me, what kind of punishment? I said, I'm leaving that up to you. I said, whether it be like, because the one thing I suggested was like doing a lap around the building or something.
Yeah,
Something silly.
right,
Nothing like, breaking the law or anything, but just something fun. And we would tape the loser having to do the punishment.
Okay.
Right? So, and you saw the way his eyes lit up a moment ago.
In a way that I have not seen on too many people. It was a little devious.
I felt that over the phone. I felt that.
Did he
that,
do like an evil laugh? He's like, sure.
well, kind of, yeah. So, all right. So
All right,
he's
I'm
mic'd
nervous.
up.
Let's do it.
He's mic'd up over there, aren't you?
Yeah, I got one.
All right. So, all right. Let's make this easy. So, what's he got there?
What are you doing? This is part of the game.
What is this? Okay.
Oh no! Okay.
Oh, all right.
These are
What
jelly
is these?
beans or like jelly bellies.
Okay,
These are the
so,
fake and the
yeah,
bad
I
and
have
good.
5.
Okay.
'Cause they're all really short.
Okay.
You got 5 questions.
Yes.
Okay.
And so each time someone will, either one person will be right or wrong, or like the person closest to the answer.
Yeah.
The person that loses has to spin and eat the jelly bean.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Obviously,
All right.
There's good and bad.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, well, let's see. Can we show these? These are the.
There,
These are
you
the-
can't.
yeah, I
Yeah, you can't really see
get in
them.
there.
They're jelly beans.
They're the jelly beans.
And then
They're jelly
there's a
bellies.
little,
Yeah.
little like spinny thing.
Oh, here.
What's it called?
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Bean Boozled.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what we're playing.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
All
So
right,
that's
let's do it.
That's what we're playing. So okay. So how does this work? How are we going to answer the question? Are we going to go back and forth? How does this go?
Yeah, y'all can each answer anytime you want to. Each question I'll tell you whether it'll be like a year or just a thing.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's do it like this. You ask the question, and in order to ring in, we say our name. So if you want to answer the question,
Okay.
you say Bethany, or I'll say Steve.
Okay.
But not reversed.
Okay.
Okay. So and then that will be your cue to call on one of us. Got it?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So can we hear you?
Check 1, 2.
There you
There
are.
we go.
Okay.
There we
Alright,
go.
sweet.
All right. So here we go. All right. This is question number 1.
All right, we'll start out kind of easy. A person who lives in Arkansas is known as a.
Steve.
Bethany.
I heard Steve.
Well, your name is shorter than mine. That's not fair.
Arkansan.
That is correct.
All right. Where's my bell? I gotta have a
Well,
bell.
no, you gotta spin your thing.
No,
or
I
have to
don't.
spin it.
No, yes, Bethany, you have to spin
Okay.
it,
Okay.
and then read which one it landed on.
It landed on white, which is either going to be coconut or spoiled milk.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay. Coconut. All right.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Which I don't know if you could tell the difference.
Coconut. This tastes good. This is good.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
next question. What is Arkansas's native musical instrument?
Bethany.
Okay, Bethany.
I'm guessing here. I'm gonna say like a harmonica.
Okay. Now,
Can I steal?
yeah. So if y'all are both wrong, do y'all both want to spin?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
both spin if we
Okay.
both
All
wrong.
right. What do you think?
But I don't think I am. A banjo.
No, it's a fiddle.
I was gonna guess a mandolin. I would have been wrong either way. Okay, I'll spin.
I almost said fiddle. I
Okay,
really
ready?
did. Yeah, go ahead, spin. The red.
Yeah. It's either
So-
gonna be chocolate, pudding, or dog food. Then you go.
All right. Round and round, and it stops on purple, which purple is.
No, that's white. It landed on that one.
Oh, I'm sorry, white.
Yeah.
It's purple background.
Yeah.
It's coconut or spoiled milk. So this is the white one.
Okay, ready?
All right,
Cheers.
1, 2, 3. I got spoiled milk.
Oh, I got chocolate pudding.
This is awful. Oh man.
Is it really bad?
It stinks too. Oh, it smells. It doesn't taste bad. It stinks though. It smells like spoiled milk.
All right.
Oh mercy.
I got chocolate milk or chocolate pudding.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Few more. So everyone knows that Walmart started in Arkansas. You can get within 5. How many Walmarts are in Arkansas?
Oh gosh.
How many Walmarts are in the state?
In the
Bethany.
state of Arkansas.
I'm gonna say
We'll do this. The person closest to the right answer will be the
Okay.
winner.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 45,000.
45,000. No. Let's do.
I have no idea.
Let's do 2,500.
Oh,
No, you are so far. There's only 80 Walmarts in Arkansas.
No.
Yes.
I'm protesting that.
they're
That's
in
not
every
right.
city though. Every
That's
town.
what I'm saying.
There's not one in every town. There's not one.
Well, not in
where I-
every
probably
town,
true.
but
If this was
Cabot's
dollar-
got, Cabot's got 2.
That's only 2.
There's got to be
Okay,
more than 80.
okay.
We'll do this one in protest. You're going to have to eat a jelly bean if we find out you're wrong.
I'm
How many did you say again? 80?
80.
All right.
It kept on landing on the same flavor. I'm gonna spin again. Okay.
That's orange. All
Tutti
right.
Frutti or Stinky Socks?
All right. So I got to do it too. Hang on. Oops. Sorry. Black, or this is, what color is that? Toasted marshmallows or stink bug.
It's that one.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, ready?
No, hang on. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, stink bug.
I can't even really tell what this one is. What's it supposed to be?
It's not toasted marshmallow. It's not. Again, they don't taste bad. The smell.
I think this is Tutti Frutti. I like it doesn't taste that
The
good, but it's not
smell,
bad.
Man, this is gross. Ugh. You got it. You're going to have to eat one of these bad ones before we're done. Whether
Okay.
You deserve
All right,
it or
2
not.
more.
Okay.
The watermelon capital of the world is in
Steve!
Arkansas.
That would be
I heard Steve.
Hope.
That is
Arkansas.
right.
No!
Yes,
he
huh?
said, yes, he's right. He said Steve
What were you going to
first.
say?
Cave City.
Well, Cave City.
Cave City.
Now, the people
They
in
have
Cave
good
City,
watermelons.
the people in Cave City will protest and be cranky about that, but it's Hope.
All right.
He's right.
All right.
All right,
So-
Bethany.
All right.
You got to get a bad one this time.
I think the last one I got maybe was the bad one.
Oh, no, you would know. These are,
Okay, this is either toothpaste or it's berry blue.
but toothpaste, that's not a
I
punishment.
got toothpaste.
But that's not
It's
a
not that
punishment.
bad. It just tastes like gum.
All right, last one.
All right, last one.
A lot of people from outside the state, they like to travel to Hot Springs because it's a popular
Mm-hmm.
city for people who don't live in Arkansas. How many hot springs flow from the mountain that are usually at 143 degrees? That's about how hot they are. How many springs flow from Hot Springs Mountain? Person within the closest person wins.
Are we both going to guess on this one?
I'll just give y'all a hint. It's not over 100.
Okay. So we don't get anything crazy. I'm going to say 65.
All right, I'm going to go. I'm going to go 20.
It is 47.
So the closest without going over. So who's closer?
Well, no, I'm closer. Right?
That's right in the middle.
We're right in the middle. All right, let's just both spin.
We'll both do it.
There we go. All right, so what is that?
You get the Tutti Frutti one of those. Or Stinky Socks. It's one of those.
This one?
Yeah.
And I got one more good one that's really good for Arkansas.
Okay. I either got Juicy Pear or Boogers.
Oh. Finally. I got something good.
I think this is supposed to be a booger.
Like you don't know what boogers taste like.
I
Come
have
on.
never eaten a booger. I think that's supposed to be booger. That's kind of weird.
All right, last
You
one.
still got to taste some of these horrid ones. These are bad.
Everybody knows about the Arkansas Razorbacks. What year did Arkansas form its first football team?
Oh, gosh. Bethany, I'm going to say,
We'll do
Nine-
closest.
I'm going to say 1938.
I think that's the last time they won a game.
Steve.
Where's the rim shot?
Mean.
Where's the rim shot?
Oh, my
No.
gosh.
The correct answer is 1894.
Wow, yes, he is correct.
Oh, my gosh.
He is correct. All right, Bethany. Good
All
job.
right.
It's only because I've seen all of my wife's family
So-
wear T-shirts and stuff.
Toasted marshmallow or stink bug? Toasted marshmallow.
Yeah, that's awful. You've got to try one of these nasty ones. We don't know how to tell which one is which though.
We just need to start eating them.
That's not a bad idea. So this was fun.
I had a
this
good
was
time with this.
I had a good time with this too.
I
So-
haven't had jelly beans in a long time.
Yeah, and I'm telling you though, it's not that they taste bad. It's the smell.
Mm-hmm.
It gets it. Oh,
I will say the booger one that I had, That one just tasted like grass. Like if you know when you fall when you're playing a game with your friends and you just fall and face plant and you get dirt and grass in your mouth, that's what that tasted like.
Really?
It was pretty bad.
Okay, so I guess we're done for today. Thank
Did you
guys.
buy this specifically for this purpose?
You did.
Oh, he
Wow.
spent money on us.
Yeah.
That's so
Hey,
nice.
TJ, you're gonna have to come up with some.
Just do a little tax
recoup.
write-off.
Yeah.
Just a little tax write-off.
Yeah, a little
It's fine.
recoup.
Thanks, bud.
So yeah, but it won't happen till next year's test because it's already after the first. So
Right.
Anyway, so I think we're done. So what are we going to do next week on Aftercast? This is fun. We got to do something like this.
I don't know. We'll see. I feel like we should do some kind of taste test. We should do some kind of
Like a blind
another
taste test?
quiz. Ooh, yeah, that's a good idea.
And find out.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Maybe if you got some suggestions, you can leave a comment on the Patreon site because it's actually there's available there, so you can tell us what you think
Yeah.
and also leave us a comment what we should do.
I had a really great time with this. I think this was super fun. And I like I said, I have not had jelly beans in a while. And so I got mostly good ones. So this
I
was
know,
just a treat for
but
me.
I'm telling you, they were nasty. The ones that are nasty are nasty.
Are
Oh.
nasty. Yeah.
Oh, all right. We love you guys. Again, we can't thank you enough for supporting us. We can't thank you enough more than that for believing in us and believing in this project and kind of getting it.
Yeah,
You know?
we
So,
appreciate you guys so much. And be sure to tell your friends and your family and anybody else that you think would be interested all about becoming a patron, because not only does it support us as individuals, but it supports the Hopecast. And it's a great way to kind of form community and just get to know other believers that have the same vision and the same purpose and insight that you guys do.
And don't forget, we will have some big news about all the rewards that we're going to be changing up just for you guys. We haven't fleshed them all out yet. I was hoping we would have them pretty soon, but apparently not. So we're going to get them together and we'll have them for you soon. So we'll see you next week. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Bye.
Love y'all. Bye.